Back like I never left with different hair. Hi and welcome back to this channel where we talk about art and books, and most of the times we don't know which art we're going to be drawing during the video, but either way I hope you enjoy the artwork that you're going to be drawing in the video, whichever one it is. And without further ado, let's get into this week's book. This book is one of the best that I have encountered this year in 2021. So this book is called Rolling in the Deep. And whenever I hear that title, it reminds me of this song by, I wanted to say Ariana Grande, but that's not her name. By Adele. So this series is by Mira Grant. She's also called Mira Grant stroke Shonan Maguire. I've always really loved her books, especially her series. Again, I have to Google this because I never remember the names of things. I have a problem. It took me a really long time. Like others were like Feed, which is a zombie book. Then there is The Wayward Children. It's a series of paranormal books where the main characters in the stories, who are kids, all have these strange, weird powers, and it was a really, really good series. Then there is Middle Game, which is some weird paranormal stuff. Again, like she has so many books that I really liked. So this one, when I got into it, I did not think that I would like it. I just wanted to read it because I was out of good books, and honestly, I was in a reading slump. Then now I encountered this book, which was called Into the Drowning Deep. Now there is book 1, which is Rolling in the Deep. It's not even called book 1, it's book 0.5. And then now book 1 is Into the Drowning Deep. So I ignored book 0.5, thinking that now with that one, I could read it later. Or maybe it had no big impact on the books, because most of the times they don't really have an impact. In book 0.5, there's a ship that went into the deep sea to the Mariana Trench supposedly to look for mermaids, because mermaids are these mythical creatures who are half human, half fish. And a TV producing company, I don't think that's the right term, called Imagine Entertainment News. It's like ETV or MTV. They had commissioned a ship to go to the Mariana Trench to supposedly look for mermaids, but within the ship itself, they had ferried these professional mermaids. These are women rather, who are professional mermaids as a career choice that they have chosen. They wear the fins and they act like real mermaids, whatever real mermaids are. But I think I could be a professional mermaid. I really love swimming and I love the water, so perfect career choice. So they went to the Mariana Trench together with now the main TV host to look for those supposed mermaids. Getting there, it started out with like now the mermaids were practicing, their show to practice what they're going to do before now it gets to the point where now the big reveal is done, and now they're revealed to be the mermaids that have been found in the Mariana Trench, and mermaids are real and all that. So they're out there swimming in the deep sea. Then one of them is deep diving and all that, enjoying herself, and then she's grabbed and snatched and disappears. And slowly, one by one, all the mermaids end up disappearing. Not during that first scene, but later on, they all end up disappearing. And eventually, everybody on that ship disappears completely. And the footage that remained, that had been sent back to the main TV network, was just completely mind-boggling and shocking to people, because the creatures that they saw taking and attacking those people, it just did not make sense that they existed. Let me just leave that as book 0.5. That's where it ends, without any resolution or anything. So book 1 goes into it a couple of years later. Now the sister of the main TV presenter who had gone in the previous ship, the ship that everybody died, it was called the Atagartis, something like that. Very difficult word for me. Now they went with a new ship to the Mariana Trench to try and investigate how she's going for what is it? Is it like revenge, or just trying to, because it was her sister who had died. She was going to like try and understand what happened to her sister. Now they went there to the deep sea together with a new TV presenter called Olivia. Now the sister is called, the new sister, the one who hasn't died yet, it's called Victoria. Now then the new TV presenter is called Olivia. Then there is Dr. Gillian Toth, who's like a professor who's studying mermaids, and she just wanted to kind of like see what is this that caused these people to die, because her previous papers that she had written on mermaids are what the Imagine TV network based their show on, and so she felt some kind of guilt that her papers caused people to die. And then now they're deep there in the Mariana Trench, and there's so much research going on, and they can see they encounter these sirens, stroke mermaids. So let's call them sirens moving on forward, whose bodies aren't like ours, but they're also kind of like ours, with 4 fingers and webbed appendages between the fingers, with huge their lips were described as luscious, huge luscious lips. And all of them, whether male or female, have this kind of curvaceous body, because in the mythical stories of old, you read about sirens who use their beautiful voices to lure the seamen to their deaths. So it's like they all had these curvaceous bodies, and their voices could mimic whatever is around them. Like their voices could mimic their praise. So you find out, like, after now they have had you speak, like they've had me speak, they would speak like me and lure you, who's my friend, to come and look for me. You go into their clutches and you die like that. They eat you, they kill you, or they'd like snatch your body and take you down there. Like you find out like later on that down there in the deep sea is their mother goddess, biggest siren person, human being. Where am I going with this? The biggest siren, who's a female. So like the male sirens feed the female siren who's down there in the deep. The story is really enjoyable because the suspense builds up slowly by slowly, and the world building is extremely detailed, such that you even feel like you're there on the ship with them. You understand the psychology of each and every cast member. Each and every character, that's not the word, it's not a cast member, each and every character of the book. You understand even the sirens themselves, how they ended up capturing one of them to study them. And then like these two twins who are on the ship, and they're both deaf. And again, side note, this is the first book that I've ever read that had deaf main characters, which was completely awesome. It was just so good and refreshing to even understand more on how even deaf people communicate, because it is so ignorant. But as an able-bodied person, I spend such little time considering how other people go through their lives and the difficulties that they may face, and that is totally on me. And I truly appreciated reading that book. I think for once I'm not going to spoil so much about this book, because I want you to explore and experience everything that I explored and experienced as I was reading the book. It was just so interesting. It was so fun and illuminating. And you got me thinking, like, what else is out there that maybe we don't know about? Like the mermaids and the sirens, and how they'd eat you, and then you're gone. You are gone. Somehow those guys were able to escape from the sea, but with so many losses and so many people who were just lost at the end of it all. The ending was a bit rushed. It was a bit rushed, let me just say that. And I did not fully understand the ending so much. I wish it had been taken a bit slower, considering the rest of the book, the previous parts of the book were all like taken so slow and explained. The ending was a bit of an anticlimactic feel, but it doesn't at all affect the rest of the experience. And even as I finished the book, I really hoped there would be a book 2. I was checking all the Goodreads review to see if anybody said anything about a book 2, but there's no book 2. So I have just decided to wallow my disappointment in reading Jaws and The Meg. Wait. I was like scrolling through the reviews, and it seems there might be a book 2. Who do I recommend this book to? Everyone. I don't care. It's not a deeply horrific story like with the Exorcist stuff like the other one, because the other one, by the way, you just go into it if you're ready for exorcisms. But this one, honestly, anyone who is able to stomach a thriller movie can be able to stomach this book. And I'd highly recommend the audiobook, because it brought the whole story alive. It was so good. But even if you read the book, even maybe that might be even a better experience, because I recommend it to everyone. In short, everyone. It has a lot of gore, so maybe if you're above 13, but most likely I am thinking about 10-year-old me, I probably would have still kind of read this book without caring. So you just read it at your own risk, but you'll really enjoy it. You won't regret it. And yeah, this one was a solid 5-star book. So yes, I think that's the end of this book review. One of the few that I have not spoiled so much, I hope. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. And I also hope you've enjoyed watching along to whatever I have drawn. I've just realized that in the last video I did not say like, share, subscribe, but you know that if you love whatever content I'm giving out over here, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, share. I've already said that. And you know, do all the good stuff. If you'd like to learn how to draw, I have classes up on Skillshare, and now I've also uploaded some of my classes up on Udemy, where you can purchase individual classes if you do not want to purchase, if you don't want to have like the monthly subscription which Skillshare gives. Yes, and if you also would like to have any commissions done, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram and I'll be sure to get back to you. And yeah, that's it. Catch you on the flippity flip.